What's up, guys? Welcome to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. Really glad you're here for this one. Samsung is about to make a public admission they have been avoiding for 7 straight generations. Every Galaxy Ultra since the S20 has prioritized processor benchmarks, camera count, and screen size while quietly ignoring the one thing users complained about every single day. The S27 leaks suggest that calculation has finally changed, and the way Samsung is changing it reveals something uncomfortable about every Ultra they sold before this one. Let's dive right into the video. Let's start with the battery decision because the numbers being leaked matter far less than the reasoning behind them. Supply chain reports from Korea point toward a meaningfully larger cell in the S27 Ultra paired with newer battery stacking methods. And critically, the phone reportedly stays at the same thickness and similar weight as the S26 Ultra. That last part is the detail Samsung needs people to focus on because it's the detail that makes this credible rather than just a marketing claim. More capacity without more thickness requires either a new battery chemistry, a restructured internal layout, or both simultaneously. Samsung appears to be pursuing both. And here is the uncomfortable truth this decision surfaces. If Samsung can deliver meaningfully better battery life in the S27 Ultra at the same physical dimensions, the only honest explanation for why they didn't do it sooner is that they chose not to. The technology was approaching feasibility for at least 2 generations. Samsung watched Chinese brands like Huawei and Honor push silicon carbon cells toward enormous capacities without thicker devices and waited until the competitive pressure became impossible to ignore. Galaxy Ultra owners who lived with battery anxiety on the S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra deserve this sooner. Samsung knows that, and the S27 Ultra battery upgrade is the closest thing to an apology they will ever publicly make. Now, the camera simplification rumor is the one dividing Galaxy fans most sharply, and it deserves a completely honest framing. Some leakers suggest Samsung may remove one dedicated zoom layer or restructure the telephoto system to free up internal space for thermal management and battery capacity. Every camera enthusiast online is treating this as a downgrade. But here is what Samsung's own usage analytics almost certainly show. The overwhelming majority of Ultra owners use the main camera and the periscope zoom and never deliberately select the intermediate telephoto for a conscious creative decision. That middle zoom lens exists primarily on spec sheets and in marketing comparisons. Removing it while improving the cameras that users actually reach for daily is not a downgrade. Is Samsung finally building around real behavior instead of theoretical use cases? The space reclaim goes toward cooling and battery, 2 things every single Ultra user interacts with every single day, regardless of how they feel about zoom photography. That trade is smarter than the initial reaction suggests, and Samsung is betting that users will agree once they live with the result. Quick one. If you're tracking every S27 Ultra leak across battery specs, camera changes, and Pro model comparisons and want it all organized without losing your mind, Walverse is exactly built for that. Link is below. And hey, over 70% of people watching this right now are not subscribed. Genuinely not here to pressure anyone. But the people already in this community caught the battery stacking story and understood the camera removal reasoning before mainstream tech channels ran either angle. That is what this community is built around. The subscribe button is right there if that resonates with you. The Galaxy S27 Pro is the part of this story that creates the most serious long-term problem for Samsung's own Ultra lineup. Leaks point toward a compact 6.3 to 6.4-inch premium flagship with top-tier performance, flagship cameras, lighter weight, thinner body, and a price potentially hundreds below the Ultra. And the timing of this model's introduction connects directly to data Samsung cannot ignore. Counterpoint research trends show consumers are holding phones for 3 to 5 years now rather than upgrading annually. When your phone needs to last 5 years, the calculus shifts completely away from peak benchmark scores and toward daily comfort, durability, and battery endurance. A lighter phone that fits naturally in one hand, doesn't dig into your pocket, and lasts through a full day without anxiety suddenly beats a spec monster that requires 2 hands and a charger nearby. Samsung is not introducing the S27 Pro because they suddenly care about compact phones. They are introducing it because their sales data told them the ultra size is becoming a barrier rather than a selling point for a growing segment of premium buyers. And that creates the question Samsung's own product team is almost certainly arguing about internally right now. If the S27 Pro delivers 90% of the Ultra experience at a meaningfully lower price in a more comfortable form factor, what exactly justifies the Ultra's premium anymore? The variable aperture camera, the larger battery, the S Pen that usage data shows most owners never touch. Samsung has built the Ultra's value proposition on features that sound impressive in announcements and matter less in daily life than the problems the Pro appears to solve more elegantly. What I keep sitting with, and genuinely drop this in the comments, is whether Samsung introducing the S27 Pro this well-equipped was a deliberate long-term strategy or whether their own engineering team built something so good it accidentally undermined the product above it. Because the answer to that question tells you everything about where the Galaxy lineup goes in 2027 and beyond. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.